I was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 43. My mother died of cancer, but early detection saved my life.
I'm sorry for her loss, and I'm happy that her treatment was successful.
Me too.
But being a cancer survivor doesn't make her an expert on the Healthcare Reform Act, and it doesn't mean she can twist the facts.
But she didn't write this herself.
We don't know whether she wrote these words. Most ads are scripted by professionals, but since she's speaking the words, we're going to assume that she believes what she's saying. That's why this ad is so disappointing. Watch how we can't go more than a few seconds before we need to check her facts.
Now a government panel.
She calls it a government panel, but according to the U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services, it is, quote, an outside panel of doctors and scientists who make recommendations. They do not set federal policy, and they don't determine what services are covered by the federal government.
Now a government panel that didn't include cancer specialists.
Everyone on that task force had an MD or PhD in medicine. One of them had both.
So they were experts.
Oh yes, but it is true that they are all primary care doctors and epidemiologists who study all kinds of diseases, so they work on more than just cancer.
Now a government panel that didn't include cancer specialists says women shouldn't receive mammograms until age 50.
Again?
All they recommended was that screenings should be an individual choice before age 50. And it wasn't a rule, just a recommendation by a group with no actual authority.
That saves money, but could cost your life. If I had followed the new government guidelines on mammograms, my cancer would have spread undetected, and my chances of survival would have been reduced.
The panel's recommendations are not new government guidelines. And even if they were, she would still have been screened because her mother had cancer.
If government takes over health care, recommendations like these could become the law for all kinds of diseases. If you find a lump, you could wait months for treatment, and life-saving drugs can be restricted.
The healthcare bill is not a government takeover. It works through private insurance and through competitive exchanges.
But government takeover is so much simpler.
Simpler, scarier, and totally untrue.
Europe already has government-run health care. Their 5-year survival rate is just 79%. In the U.S., it's 90%.
Europe's not a country, right?
It's lots of countries. They speak different languages, different laws and governments.
And healthcare systems?
Yes. If the writers want to compare something to Europe, they'll have to compare it with North America. And that includes Canada, Mexico, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, all of the Caribbean nations.
Nicaragua's in North America?
Yes, it's in Central America, and that's part of North America.
Do people in Portugal think that we're all the same country?
No.
My odds of surviving cancer were high because my care was the best. What are your odds if the government takes over your health care?
We need to start over and get health care right.
What about those statistics?
It's fuzzy math. They chose to show survival rates. A better measure is mortality rates, and those are the same for the UK and the US.
I'm getting confused.
That's the point. These statistics are way too complicated for a 60-second commercial, and the writers are betting that you won't check the facts.